couple days ago, I started having problems with the ABS module, and I'm not sure if it's related to it at all in any way, shape, or form, but I ordered a new one and didn't end up using it. I ended up using the factory one and ended up cleaning off the connections and was able to get my ABS cleared, which is good. And then, I don't know, I went inside the house for a little bit and came back outside, and when I would turn on my ignition, there would be absolutely zero lights on the dash, which is good, but none of my gauges work except for the voltage and oil pressure. And I've been checking fuses, and not to my knowledge or anything, I can't seem to find a blown fuse, and I've gone through pretty much all of them. So
it won't be a blown fuse. Let me ask you this: have you checked for codes in the computer, and there are no codes?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Are you sure that the main engine computer communicates when the gauges aren't working? I guess that's really kind of the important question. So I would recommend that when this happens, or is it constant right now? Does it happen all the time, or is this intermittent?
It just happened. So
okay. Well, if it's happening right now, I would, once you get off the phone, I would turn the key on or start it up and go ahead and plug it into the data link connector with your scan tool, hit read codes, and make sure A, that it communicates. B, if it does, just double check for codes, because if we didn't check for codes, if we only checked for codes before this happened and not afterwards, and let's just double check for codes. So you might have a communication issue, and if that's the case, then we're going to have to check grounds, and this could be either a faulty PCM, faulty instrument cluster. So yeah, there's some things that we need to check here.
So I guess my only question that just is a little bit confusing, like why only 2 gauges work but not the rest of them? Because when I did turn the key on, the gauges flickered a little, and then actually starting the truck, then they RPM, speedometer, fuel, and coolant all just sank to the left. So the voltage and oil pressure.
I gotcha. So basically, you want the answer before the problem is diagnosed. And I have this conversation a lot with people on the phone. They want to know the answer, but we haven't got to the bottom of the problem. So I really can't give you the answer, but I can give you some possible causes and some scenarios. So for example, if the instrument cluster has low power, if it has an insufficient ground, that would cause it. If there's a communication circuit, or like a wiring issue, or a shorted out module on the communication circuit, that would cause it. And also a faulty instrument cluster would also cause that. So that's the answer.
Right. Yeah, no, and I totally understand what you mean. I'm not trying to dig any questions or answers. That was just kind of my only question, as it's just kind of weird and confusing and doesn't really make a lot of sense.
And I'll be honest with you, that's what electronic components do when they start to go bad. A lot of stuff doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and it can act intermittently. That's what connections, bad connections do. Or maybe there's a solder joint in the instrument cluster. Maybe there's, bad connection at the ground. So all the above, it's possible. So the answer is yes, all of it can cause this. We just got to figure out which one it is. So we do that by ruling out one problem at a time. So right now we would check for communication, make sure there's not a communication issue. If there is, we got to address that. If there's not, then we go right to the instrument cluster, check the powers and grounds, rule that out, and the only thing that's left would be a bad instrument cluster.
Okay.
And if it's a cluster, you can actually send it out to instrumentclusters.com to get rebuilt, or a place similar to that, and they'll rebuild your cluster for you and send it back.
Well, awesome. I appreciate the few little steps to give me, because I probably wouldn't have thought of that right away. Or I guess I appreciate the kind of more on the step side of it. Yeah. So as to kind of where to start. So
exactly. You got it.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. You bet. You're welcome. Good luck, and let me know if anything comes up, okay?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You bet.